Hi there, Tiger. Your pal Sarah here in New York. And this week I thought we would do something a little bit different. We're taking a question from a viewer. Yes, we have viewers. And, okay, I can sense your skepticism way out there in Los Angeles. She's a relative from Finland, but it still counts. International viewership. And the question is, how did you and Greg meet? So I thought this week we could do a he said, she said on how we met. But the part that is indisputable is that we met way back in the Paleolithic late 1990s, June 17th, at CNN headquarters in Atlanta, Georgia. It was our first day of employment there, and it was my first job out of college. I believe that you had done some reporting for a local Florida station, which may be why you, from the get-go, were much more professional and focused than I was. That was my first impression of you. That and you were very nice, because you found out that I didn't drive, still don't drive, and you offered me a lift home, which would have been great. Problem was, I did not know how to give you directions back to my shithole apartment, couldn't navigate the highways, byways, freeways, and after many wrong turns and missed exits and wasted gas, I finally said to you, Greg, just drop me off at Lenox Mall, because I can get home from Lenox with the MARTA subway system. So that's just what we did. And then we had a follow-up date at Lenox. You asked me to meet you there for lunch with your roommate, and as we were sitting there at the table, the waiter came over to give us the specials, one of which was salmon, and you immediately said, ugh, I don't do fish. And the waiter said, oh, honey, I know just what you mean. And I always consider that to be the beginning of our friendship, that moment right there. But truthfully, at CNN, you were always very focused on what your goal was. You were very much a go-getter. And I liked that about you. You were really very focused, whereas I had 3 hours, think about that, 3 hours of training time built into my schedule, where I could have sat with directors, I could have trained with producers and writers, and really found a place for myself in the newsroom. Instead, I found a place for myself down at Reggie's Bar in the atrium. So, you know, I really wasted those opportunities, which may be why you wound up being a great success. You produced the Larry King Live show for many years. And I worked in the dank, dark hellhole of the satellites department, spending my days telling satellite truck operators to rotate your pole, please. So that goes to show what hard work gets you. Hard work, and the other thing you had was great PR savvy. For example, you brought a box full of these Greg Christensen pens into the newsroom one day and passed them around, and you claimed that your grandmother gave them to you and you just didn't know what to do with them. Nobody believed that, because it was a genius PR stunt. There's always a lack of pens in any newsroom, so at a certain point everybody had one of these. And at one point the anchor on the set, who was Lou Waters, was in a commercial break and writing with one of these, and he looks down and he says, who the hell is this Greg Christensen person anyway? So you became famous. As for me, the only thing that I ever schemed or spent any time thinking about was trying to get rides home, obviously, because I had this horrific shift. I worked from 7 p.m. to 4 a.m., and whereas you had a cushy. Back in the day, this was considered cushy. Your shift was 3 p.m. to 12 a.m. And people were like, who the hell did Greg Christensen blow to get that shift? That was considered such a good shift. So yes, 7 p.m. to 4 a.m. and I would have to go to the Omni Hotel every morning to have them call me a cab to get home. Anyway, sorry, this always happens. I do not know why. So I would go to the Omni every morning, 4 a.m., and at a certain point, this gypsy cab driver realized that there was always this blonde woman at 4 a.m. at the Omni. So he started coming there without me calling, and it was nice. It was actually quite comforting for a while to realize that I wouldn't have to worry about it. There was always somebody there waiting to pick me up. But then he stopped charging me. And any woman knows when a guy stops charging for his services, he expects repayment of some other kind. So I was like, oh shit, now this guy's gonna ask me out, I've got to figure out a new way home. And of course he did ask me out. And he also presented me with this caftan that he had his sister buy me in Morocco, that's where he was from. And along with this caftan there were these matching shoes. Matching shoes. And the creepiest thing about these shoes is that they actually fit my feet. So this guy who used to pick me up at 4 a.m. every morning somehow knew the size of my feet. Now, you would think that that would inspire me to get a driver's license. You would think. I mean, that's just creepy. It did not. It inspired me to move to a city where I never had to think about driving again. That's why I'm sitting here in New York talking to you. All right, look forward to hearing your response. Love you.